Et je donne de nouveau la parole à Vandana. Vandana, c'est à vous.
Yeah.
Navdanya, que fait Navdanya en Inde? Et éventuellement ailleurs.
Navdanya, which means 9 seeds, but it also means the new gift, and for us it's the new gift of the commons, of the common good, of sharing, of caring. What we do in India and globally is basically follow the seed. Follow the teachings of the seed. And everything I've learned, I didn't study biology, and I definitely didn't study agriculture. I studied physics when I was studying. But everything we've learned in Navdanya is from the seed. So we're always told you must have the chemicals in industrial farming to grow more food to feed the world. We said, how can a monoculture feed the world? How can nutritionally empty food feed the world? So we started to look at how biodiversity feeds the world. And we started to measure nutrition per acre. And you can all find this report on the website of Navdanya, which is Navdanya, navdanya.org. We call it health per acre. We can feed 2 times India's population. If we went on the path of biodiversity rather than the chemical path, we could feed 2 times the world's population with good food. That's why the transition is so important. But we found even more significantly that 50% of the greenhouse gases come from industrial farming. But in ecological agriculture, we have a solution to climate change. That's why at COP21, we planted a garden. And I remember a meeting here with the movements on making Paris, Greater Paris region, an organic zone. I was yesterday at the mayor's conference. And why do we assume that just because a city is big, it can't be fed by its neighborhood? Its neighborhood is big, that's all. So it might be 100 miles of a radius or a 500-mile radius, but it's still not the 20,000 miles of bad transport and bad food. And changing the nature of the seed to sit on shelves and not rot. We have lovely bananas. Del Monte came to India and said, change your bananas because they don't ship well. No, we like to eat our bananas, not ship them. We are the biggest growers of banana and the biggest eaters of banana, but we are absent in the trade system. That's for the banana republics. We found that our farmers, we weren't looking for finding ways for them to earn more. We wanted them to be carers of the earth, conservers of seed. And that's why we helped them go organic, so they would cut out the costs on chemicals. Our farmers, our members, are earning 10 times more than the farmers chasing the chemical treadmill and the industrial system, which is totally dropping the prices of food. Farmers are earning nothing in the global market. They earn 1% of what the consumer pays. That's why bringing food closer to consumption, growing it closer to consumption, means much more returns to the farmers, and farmers will be able to return to the land. Because the driving of our farmers from the land is part of a system that just shouldn't exist. And we want to phase it out in the next 10 years. So in India, in '99, I created a movement for living democracy. Villages which make their own decision and recognize their part of the earth. That we are part of the earth family. We will protect every tree, every animal, every insect. We will not allow chemicals to come here. We will not allow GMOs to come here. We will not allow patents to come here. This living democracy movement has grown. And now, through it, we have evolved a poison-free food and farming movement, saying if we have 10 years for a transition, then every place should begin at the local level and expand to regions. And I hope all of you will go back and say, from today, I will not be part of the toxic system of food, which is destroying the planet and my health. From today, I will not just start eating ecological food, but I will be part of the cultivation of food communities. What the seed teaches us is care. That when you give care to the seed, it gives you abundance. And all of the industrial chemical agriculture that has destroyed the planet, the farmers, our health, and the future of our children is an agriculture that is based on promoting carelessness. It's turning us into careless beings. And that's why the women's panel is so important, because we were considered backward, because instead of control and profits and mastery, we were caring. And the economy of care was treated as a non-economy. But the economy of caring and sharing, which is the economy of the commons, is the economy of the future. We will only be able to have a future if we all join in that. And this is what Navdanya does practically. We learn from the farmers, we learn from the seed, we learn from the soil, we learn from the butterflies. And now my colleague Neha will tell you about the very concrete things we do.
Merci. Oui, of course. Nia Rajding, vous travaillez auprès de Vandana à Navdanya comme responsable de projet et vous nous racontez ce que vous faites.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having us here. Thank you for Seoul and for the center for hosting us. Navdanya is a women-led movement, and Dr. Shiva is here as testament to that. And we are a women-centered movement. From women from the far north in the Himalaya, from Ladakh, to east all the way to Odisha and West Bengal. At the heart of our movement are women. And they are seed producers, they are farmers, they are scholars, researchers, and we range from all genres of life. And for 30 years, we have been working on protecting and reclaiming our seed and our knowledge. I want to tell you a story about a group of women in Uttarakhand, and they have been the part of the soul of Navdanya who have pushed out a whole chemical industry from there on their own. And they were just inspired and introduced to Navdanya, and once they started transitioning into this organic movement on their own, they transformed their community. I have seen, we in Navdanya have seen how in a small, in a state of, say, Bihar, women have stood against patriarchy, stood up and said, no, he's wrong, the farmer who's saying that we should have chemicals in their field, because she says, my child is suffering. So they are the ones who nourish their children, they nourish the soil. They are the ones who are transitioning us to a better world. Just like all of us here, all of you here, who inspire us like that, we have communities there who are changing our everyday life to a poison-free world. Navdanya women have saved 7,000 varieties of seeds, and they are climate-resilient varieties of paddy. They are cereals, they are millets, and they give their voice to this movement because they are the ones who are saving people, their communities. We have had the super cyclone disaster in Odisha, and the women were the ones who distributed the seeds to the community. And they were able to help thousands of farmers. And by this example, the people of India are able to realize that how important are, we call them annadatas, our food producers, our God. And Navdanya stands for them and for our farmers. And as Clotilde was saying, that we have a course where we have farmers, we have people from all age groups and all over the world who come together, and they come for the A to Z course, and where we just don't have experts, but we also have the students learning from the communities, and we invite you to join us at our Navdanya Biodiversity Conservation Farm, where we have over the 20 years of our existence changed and transformed that land. It's a living example of how a eucalyptus farm, which was barren and completely desertified, is now a living farm where people come to change their lives. And the water table has risen to 70 feet. It's come up 70 feet just because we have transformed into an organic agroecological farm. And that farm also has 10 times more pollinators today than the forest which is neighboring us. So I invite you and thank you for having us here.
Thank you.